This here's an overview of Klamath River RV Park.
So as you can see, when you come in on this road, you end up at this turn, and you can see how this is a sharp turn through here. So if you're in a larger RV, you're going to want to be careful. There is a gate key that you need here, but we have a 42-foot fifth wheel, and we didn't have really any problems at all. So then you can see it's also a pretty steep downhill when you're entering.
It isn't that bad, it's just make sure you're aware that it's going downhill. Right here on the left is the main office. You can get firewood there. They also have a few other little souvenirs and things. And they have a pretty good understanding of what's happening in the local area as well.
So once you come in, this is the registration parking. So you park here and go get all your stuff for your site. This is the playground that they have. Then this right here is a little cafe that's open from 8 in the morning till 10 on Saturdays and Sundays. And then these are pulled through sites. They're the row back. Over there's the riverside, and these are the row back. Here's the public restrooms. I shouldn't say public restrooms, they're campsite restrooms. And then these are the sites that are pulled through on the second row. This here is the laundry room. And then it's $3 a load. Looks like they're pretty high capacity. Then you have your dryers, which look like, these look like $2, but they put this one here in.
These back areas are all 50 amp, and they're back towards the tree area. There were some bears that came into the park area, so that's something to be aware of. There's a road that goes down the middle, and then the sites are on either side of the road, backed up into the trees. This right here is the only trash that's in the area, and it can get quite full towards pickup day. These sites are the ones that are towards the trees, and these trees are right in between the campsites and the river. There's also a trail that is located back in this area, and it goes down through these trees down towards the river.
And all the way back around. These on this side over here are all pull-throughs, and then this here is the other loop, and this is the riverside loop. That's what they call it. These are set up to be back to back, but they've adjusted them so that everybody has a lot more room. The new owners did that.
As you can see, this backs up to like a mountain with a lot of trees on the backside, and there's really only like 2 rows of campsites. So it stretches from this side over this way, all along this front ridge, down to the other side, and on the right is the river, as you can see. once you get here towards the front, towards the river, these are all community fire pits. We actually enjoyed that because you could start a fire and then other people could join you. So they had a lot of seats around them. People would bring their chairs, and it overlooks the river. And in the evening, it's quite pleasant here. What you're looking at down here is the tent area, and the tent area is right down towards the river. You can't get to the water, but it's a pretty nice area to camp as well. And like I said, these are the community fire pits, and they're pretty nice. Like we said, you can see there's some have a picnic table near them. The other one had quite a few chairs around it. But like I said, and as I said before, these are all pull-throughs, and they used to be back-to-back. So what they really are now is a really long site. The only thing is they're not very wide. So you can see this large diesel pusher and then ours with the flags there. But most of the room is in the front of your RV and to the back of your RV. In between, if it gets full, there's RVs parked there. But they're all backed towards but you can see how much space there is between the river and the RVs themselves, and how each of them have a picnic table. And it's not always busy. The weekends are kind of busy, but it was a comfortable campsite. But everybody really has a good view of the river if you just set all your picnic tables out. It is kind of a secluded area by the river, so it's actually a pretty comfortable campsite for just hanging out and spending some time by the river and relaxing. This is our site, and you can see how the things are aligned behind your RV, and then you can see the actual pole that we have here on the right is for the other RV power, and this is one RV site, so that's how wide it is. So the park goes all the way up that way, and then you can see that it's laid out right here along the river. And all of these, from this RV on this end all the way down to that RV on that end, are all riverfront sites. So now if you come in this way, which before we came across that way in front of that, here's the office. You come in down this road right here. This comes along the front side of all of these riverfront sites, and then all of these back here. I mean, riverfront really is right there's the river, so it's not that far away, even if you get these over here. These are all pull-throughs as well, just like these right here. That's ours right there. These are all pulled through as well. So like I said, this is our spot right here. If you come around this way, it goes all the way down. But also right here is a tent area. So there's tent campers, like I said. And this spot comes right down to the river, or I should say closer to the river. And then you can see over here are the tent sites. So spot 11 and 10, and you also can see right over here the trail that goes back into the woods, which is pretty cool. And then over here is another camp spot. I think this is 7. So, and then 10 and 11. Oh, there's 9. I don't see 8, but now this comes right up to the edge of the river, and you can see there is the riverbank right here. You could probably fish here, but you really can't get down to the river. However, as you can see, it's a very scenic area. The water looks beautiful. You can't go down to the river, primarily because the bank is so high up here. So you can see that like the bank drop off is pretty good size, and you wouldn't want to really go over there. So when you come out of the tent area, you can see all of the pull-through sites that are here facing the river. This is considered riverfront. even though there's this section over here that is in between the RVs and the river, and this road runs through. But that section that's over there by the river has all of the community fire pits and is a pretty nice place to hang out.
Like I said before, these are community fire pits. So you can come out here in the evening, start a fire. Then they also have horseshoe pits right here. And this here is the end spot. But then over here is another section that is tents. So there's a big tent section. And this goes back around to the entrance, which is right over there. They do have Wi-Fi here. They don't have a dog park. And they request that all the dogs stay on a leash. You can see here, it's one of the tent areas. I should say a few of them. There's 5 of them here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then again, these come right up to the edge, and you can see that this edge of the river is, even where the chains is falling down there. So you really can't get down to the river from here. But you can see almost the whole campground from here. So it's not really big. It's kind of a confined space, but the sites, because of how they've laid them out and they've removed some of the double parking, it used to be you would park facing this way and then another one facing that way, and each site had 2 people on it. So you backed up to the other RV. So if you see this site right here with the poles in the middle, one RV would be here, another RV would be there, which made it pretty cramped from what we saw in some other reviews.
As you can see, Klamath River RV Park is a beautiful park with some excellent scenery. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos.
Thanks for watching. God bless and safe travels.